Welcome to another Midnight Review. I'm Carson. That's Nick. We are not sponsored by Joe's Crab Shack. Do my best to block that.
Joe's Crab Shack.
Yeah, does not endorse what we do here. And what we're doing here tonight, I don't even care anymore. Last week, we had Thor 3. That was fun. That was delightful. I'm still thinking about that movie. It was great. I want a whole movie of Tessa Thompson being a badass Valkyrie chick. This week, I could not care. I don't think I could care less about it. I really don't.
Yeah.
Murder on the Orient Express.
Murder on the Orient Express.
This is what, the third or fourth adaptation of this very story?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty popular as like a play. I would argue that like the play and movie adaptations of it are more popular than the book.
Yeah, by far. But the thing is, so they had the movie back in the 70s that had like Sean Connery in it, I think. But someone else, I forgot who was Piorot. And then I can almost guarantee, I don't know if I can, but I can almost guarantee that they adapted it again for the Piorot show that ran on like PBS for like a decade.
Like probably, there's just so many adaptations of it. Like,
no, I mean those are the two I can easily name off the top of my head.
Every local theater.
Yes, like, yeah. So at this point, I mean, we probably know how it's going to end, because if you don't end it that way, you're going to have the classic fans like, oh, why didn't you end it that way? Yeah.
I do want a twist ending, though.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I do, but it's probably not going to happen.
That would be fantastic, but at the same time, it's like, okay. So, what we're left with is it has to be all in the presentation. Mm-hmm. You know? So, but I don't know how much of a shit I give. I'm like, great, we get to watch a lot of these actors who are good. In most cases are very good, but I'm like, I don't want to see them do this.
I think the bottom line is like, just, nobody asked for this.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know who was begging for this to be made. Yeah. Kenneth Branaugh. That's all.
And it'll probably have like lukewarm reception at best, probably. Honestly. Like,
I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing Daisy Ridley. I like her a lot. Dame Judi Dench.
Yeah. I mean,
Josh Gad.
As far as the cast goes, I'm definitely like on board with the cast.
Oh yeah.
It's just like, I don't really care about the story. Like who really? Yeah. Who was like, we really need Murder on the Orient Express again? The
only two ways that this movie could, three ways. The only three ways this movie could really get to me: change the ending completely. I mean, like, aliens are the ones who did it completely.
They're on a train in winter
in space.
In space?
Yeah,
like
it'd have to be something that ridiculous. The performances are going to have to be outstanding.
It's like a super character-based movie.
Yeah, absolutely blow me away that good. Mm-hmm. Or all of the music is going to have to be like weird contemporary stuff.
I don't even know, Imagine Dragons or something? All just a 100% Imagine Dragons soundtrack.
That's who asked for it, was Imagine Dragons.
They were like, can you make Murder on the Orient Express and just use all of our songs?
If you didn't read the lyric book close enough, all of our songs in our first album was about Murder on the Orient Express. They're all about
Murder on the Orient Express.
Oh, wow. Gotta go back and reevaluate your stuff. But I don't want to pay $10 to see this movie.
Kind of like how every black metal song is about Lord of the Rings. If you look at it close enough.
Tilt your head, squint your eyes.
Turns out every Imagine Dragons song is all about Murder on the Orient Express.
Eventually they'll branch out into other Agatha Christie novels.
Yep.
Anyway, okay. Back in a sec.
Now we're back.
My name is Hercule Piorot, and I am probably the greatest detective in the world.
Before we begin, if your phone rings in the middle of a movie.
Oh my, yeah.
Turn that shit off.
Don't answer.
Don't answer.
don't answer.
I don't care if it's a 30-second conversation. Don't answer. Anyways,
Like,
so
where is the situational awareness? Like, climax of the movie, like post-climax.
yeah.
And then I thought it was part of the movie at first. It was like,
Me too. I'm like aliens?
This guy had like an old-timey ringtone. It was like, bring, bring,
Yeah.
bring, bring. And then some asshole 2 rows in front of us answers his phone.
Yo, what's up?
Oh, hey, what's up? What's up? And then at least the people 1 row in front of us were like, hey, get off the phone.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, sorry, guy, gotta go. Like, you could tell, like, he would have kept talking.
Yeah.
If no one said anything. It's like, what the
I would have felt a little uncomfortable speaking 1 row in front of me.
Oh, no, if he was right in front of me, I probably would have thrown the rest of my drink on him.
I would have thrown the rest of the popcorn.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, so
Don't do it.
PSA, don't answer your phone.
Turn
it off.
If there's one thing to take away from this,
Yep.
don't answer your phone.
So, this movie, it was exactly what I was expecting.
Pretty
top to bottom.
Lukewarm.
Exactly what I was thinking. A completely unnecessary readaptation. Murder on the Orient Express. All it is, bunch of strangers on a train. Murder happens. Hercule Piorot and his weird idiosyncratic behavior has to go solve it. That's it. Kenneth Branaugh does an okay job with Hercule Piorot. Fine, whatever. That's the movie. Fine, whatever. Y'all did a fine job.
Part of me wonders if it just suffers from like 80-year-old characters that aren't interesting anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
I will say, nobody with the exception of 2 people stood out. They all did a fine job.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Dame Judi Dench is one of them. You had Willem Dafoe is another. I'm just like, cool, but they didn't have much to do. Josh Gad, I was like, oh,
I would actually say
a little surprised with how good he was.
Of the suspects,
Yeah.
I think he was probably. I don't know if I'm just saying this because he seemed to have the most time out of all of them.
Yeah.
It was kind of like him, Daisy Ridley's character.
Mm-hmm.
Daisy Ridley's character, I thought was pretty bad. Honestly, I thought Josh Gad's was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
I actually thought it was pretty. It was like a pretty good character.
But I mean, it was any badness to it. It's like it didn't take you out of the movie.
Yeah, and
It's more like weakest player of the bunch, but at the same time, anytime Daisy Ridley was on screen, I was just like, yay! She's just a
like,
ray of sunshine in human form. I love her.
Nothing stood out as terrible, but nothing stood out as like great.
Yeah,
It was just a book made into a better play, made into another movie.
Yeah,
And it was just like, okay.
I will say,
The first 10 minutes of that movie, why was it even there? They did the
I
whole,
will say.
so like we were talking about this when we were watching the trailers. Guy Ritchie's Sherlock Holmes, how they kind of have like the beginning, like, oh, we gotta establish that this guy is like smart, essentially, that he's a good detective. Oh, look, I'm not a neurotypical kind of guy. I'm your atypical detective type. He's just, he's French Sherlock Holmes is what he is.
It's like, just let the movie as a whole explain.
I would have been 100% okay with the movie starting with him just stepping on the train.
Yeah.
And make the movie 10 minutes shorter.
Yeah, start with him like in the bakery smelling the pastries.
Yeah, because
that's
there's the initial like, oh, we gotta solve this stupid mystery that's in like Jerusalem.
It's very much how every Bond movie starts. It's like here's 10 minutes of his last adventure.
Yep,
pretty much the same.
And then it cuts to that scene where he's in the kind of like train station restaurant bakery sort of thing.
Yeah, whatever that was.
And that like establishing shot and everything was like pretty cool, and you kind of got a feel for his character and everything, and then it should have just went from there and not had the first 10 minutes. But other than that, it was like
just small things that kind of stood out. All the players generally fine, but the thing is the camera, the blocking for everything didn't really allow for great conversations, because every time they cut,
you're in a train, so it's like
nothing. with the exception of one thing, and it's something that's been done a million times before, nothing was shot in an interesting or new way.
There were some cool kind of like the top-down shot at the very
But that's been done before.
I mean, it's been done before, but it's still
but
good.
that's the exception that I was
The
talking
problem is
about.
like when you're in a train, every shot, because usually the two people talking to each other at either ends of like the train car, it's like, okay, we're talking to you.
Well, here's
we're talking to you.
Here's what I'm
and it
getting
just
at
goes
is
back and
like
forth.
is Wes Anderson, the way he shot things for the Darjeeling Limited was actually really well done. So it's like, okay, continue that. You don't necessarily have to do Wes Anderson's
Well, I mean,
stuff.
that's the thing though. Is like,
But-
people are just gonna compare it to that though.
But
if you do anything,
film it different. Try something else. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Oh, you tried nothing and you come up with this.
I mean, it was like 90% of that movie was just close-ups on people's faces.
Yeah, but I felt
Walking
like
Dead style.
Yeah,
That's what I call that. When you just get real close on someone's faces and reacting.
Nobody had. I mean, as we said, Josh Gad probably felt like he had the most screen time, and he probably did. Apart from Poirot.
Apart from
Poirot. So you didn't get too much a feel of these characters, and
but they're all like really. I don't know. They're just really like stage.
They're
play.
two-dimensional, and the second dimension reveals itself at the end.
Yeah, well,
That's pretty
the
much
thing
it.
is, it's very much like. It just reminds me of every. I mean, obviously, I don't think a lot of kids did this. I went to a lot of plays when I was a kid, and my mom dragged me to a lot of like classic plays or books adapted into plays.
Yeah.
It just reminded me of every single one of those where you have like this very, like, but now by today's standards is a very like done kind of tropey character, and that's like most of the characters. And so you look at like to the movie's benefit, when there's like a dozen characters, it is nice when you see a character in the first 30 seconds, you're like, okay, I know who this person is.
Yeah.
And then if that's really not who they are, it reveals itself later, and it's not like
one of the other big faults
it's hard to
of the
have so
film-
many multifaceted characters. But the problem is like Hercule Poirot, he's not even really a multifaceted character.
No.
It's like, okay, here's
He's Monk.
Here's your
I mean,
here's
Monk
your,
is based
here's
off of him, but-
Monk Lock Holmes.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, the biggest problem I would say with this film is that it's not a different adaptation.
No,
If it had been Murder on the Nile, or there was another one that was done that was really good, but nobody remembers it.
Snakes on a train on a Orient Express.
Yeah, something
murder.
like that. No, it's
I don't know,
it's like
stupid.
Murder in the Sunlight or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, do that one. Do any of them. There's like 60. There's a decade's worth of Poirot stories. Do a different one.
It's just like if you go in and you know the story,
You're not gonna.
That's-
I
I don't know if it's a spoiler, but it's just like, if it is a spoiler, you skip ahead or skip back or turn it off or whatever. But like, if you know how the book goes, if you know how the previous adaptation goes, this is what you're getting.
Yeah,
That's what you're getting.
The
No aliens.
only other thing I want to say is, did so much of it really have to be CG? Like all the exteriors with the trains. Do trains not exist? Does the outside not exist? And it was
There
just
was
like
a lot of.
this is
More so towards the beginning of like the first half of the movie.
Yeah, with
There
a lot
was
of
a
those
lot of
shots
like
of,
establishing shots that were
Istanbul
just
and
like
stuff.
total CG.
Yeah,
And that was kind of, I don't want to say like really took me out of it, because the whole the kind of like the coloring of the movie and how like the kind of scale it was on, it almost kind of worked with it, with how the lighting was.
Yeah.
Like, that's about what I expected there.
But
like,
at the same
sets to
time,
look
that's
like.
kind of one of the things that's that you look forward to. with these.
It reminded me of The Great Gatsby, really.
Yeah, but I mean that's it. If you've seen this before, any of the adaptations before, you're not missing anything. Just go watch that adaptation again, or watch a different one, or read any of the books or stories, or watch any of the plays.
If you're really into it,
If you're a diehard Agatha Christie fan and you have to see every adaptation, yeah, it's okay.
it's not bad.
But even just rent it. Don't watch it in cinemas. There's absolutely no need to.
Yeah, some of the dialogue got a little cringy.
As you said, up its own ass.
I don't want to say cringy, yeah, but after the movie was over, I was like, that movie was pretty up its own ass.
Yeah.
Like, you know, a lot of the one-word responses to very multifaceted questions. Yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Darkness.
Ugh.
Pain.
Yeah. So
Never ends. Things like
the film
people,
didn't feel like it ever ended.
people felt like everybody was very... I mean, I guess it makes sense for everybody to be tortured souls.
Yeah, it was what it was.
Yeah.
But next week, Justice League.
Oh boy.
Ew-wee.
I can't get stoked for it.
Yay! I'm so stoked for the unstoking.
I was like one of those people that was like, guys, Suicide Squad, it's not gonna be that bad. Why are y'all flipping out? And like I liked the Jared Leto Joker with minus the damage tattoo. I will be on that train. The damage tattoo is stupid.
But literally everything else about his design was cool.
Yeah, I was like everybody. I was really
else.
on board with that. And so like when Suicide Squad came out, I was like, guys, come on, give it a chance.
And we did.
And then I went and saw it, and I was like, oh man, I was wrong, and I'm never gonna champion anything DC related again.
You get like 10 minutes of that movie, and the rest of it's just
yeah.
We don't even get to Slipknot, and we're going
Especially when like I like too much of a sidetrack. I called it. I was like, Slipknot's gonna. His ass is grass.
Of course, his
ass is grass. His power is lassos.
He's the only one who didn't have like this is his backstory.
Oh yeah, he's the only one that doesn't have it. And when he didn't, when they just like
the filmmakers forgot about him.
They literally pulled him out of a car and were like, and here's Slipknot, and he just punches a woman. He's like, we're trying to come in. I was like, oh, he's dead. Like,
what's his power? He climbs things real well.
Good with ropes.
Anyway, yeah, we get to see the further adventures of the DC universe. Until
I keep
then,
wanting to say it can't get worse,
but we've been proven
but it
wrong.
can definitely get worse. Like,
It's get worse.
I just, especially like when you said the whole medieval thing, I just got reminded of like Transformers too, and I was like, I swear if half this movie is like cut with going back to like some King Arthur level shit, I'm gonna fucking lose it.
It's gonna be you know what? He's gonna review Justice League. I'm gonna review his reactions to Justice League.
I'm like self-triggering over the DC universe.
You know what? We're gonna get a title card, and I'm just gonna lean over and be like, "We're screwed."
I'm not excited. My hopes are not high, but I have a feeling it's gonna be one of those things where it's like I expected nothing.
Yes.
And I am still disappointed.
Oh man, it's gonna be great. Anyway, that is a conversation for next week. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to this channel. I thank you very much for having watched this review. YouTube.com/GlassFilmsHouse, Twitter @GlassHouseFilms, and Facebook.com/GlassHouseFilms. Thanks, y'all, and we'll see you next week for Justice League.
Oh boy.
Ooh-wee.
Ooh-wee.